Well, moving on, we now have our next keynote by Mr. Golok Kumar Simli, Principal Advisor and CTO, Global Passport Seva Program, the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. Shri Golok Kumar is an award-winning government technology strategic thought leader whose contribution towards National E-Governance Plan of India during its inception year 2005 and 7 has been remarkable. His proven track records towards digital transformation within public sectors and government departments has been immense. He is the architect of the Passport Seva program, delivering passport services to more than 90,000 citizens daily within India and for global diaspora. He has received 21 individual accolades to his credit from different sectors with government, industry, media houses as digital and governance transformation thought leader. May I invite on stage and a big round of applause for Shri Golok Kumar Simli.
Yeah, very good morning to all of you. I think a lot of discussions on 5G, security, or data-related issue. I'll focus a little bit different. How is that government at large we are looking when it comes to emerging technology at large, technology like 5G or AI, GNAI. But before that, let me at the outset thanks the Cyber Media Group, all the sponsors having me here. To start with, I think let's talk about what are the major trends we are visualizing globally too. And if you ask me, and if you ask every one of us here, what are the 5 digital trends we are observing globally, if I say, when we are shaping country at large, shaping the global economy at large. And these 5 trends, what we are observing is first and foremost thing is AI and machine learning. The second trend which we are observing is the cloud computing and edge computing. The third is naturally 5G and beyond. Fourth is definitely the cyber security and data privacy concerns. And the fifth one is the distributed technology, or sometime we are taking or implementing or thinking about blockchain kind of a technology. Now, having said that, if I again ask 2 major trends or 2 different paradigms of how do we handle data intensive tasks. And these 2 different trends, again, what we are observing is, one is data to compute and other is compute to data, right? And when I'm talking about data to compute or compute to data, again, the technology which is coming into the picture is AI, analytics, big data, and distributed computing. Now, having said that, if I go to the government side of it, right, this slide, if you can see, where is actually government is heading. Now, government of India is heading at large. We are aiming somewhere around $1 trillion of digital economy, third largest economy in the globe by, let's say, 27, 28. One of the major, why India and why is that India becoming a global hub in terms of these kind of technologies and other means? Just see, we are the largest recipient of FDI alone and almost $919 billion, right? And while we are observing that trend within the country, where is that we are focusing as a country at large? Our first and foremost thing is to, when we are discussing in the industry here, a lot of industry colleagues are there, how do you create an environment of something I call flawless digital interaction? Let me take 30 seconds here. When I say flawless digital interaction, I am referring to more than 1.4 billion of people. I am also referring there saying that how do I bridge those gaps of, let's say, education barrier, literacy barrier, demography, geography barrier, economic conditions. Having kind of omitted all of these barriers, can we create an environment of flawless digital interactions? And I think that is where the technologies will come into picture. Whether I talk about 5G, enabling that rural masses across, where I can have that kind of a bandwidth in place, where I can have local kind of a digital learning methods. I can have digital inclusivity based on 5G and IoT kind of an environment. Or let's say if I talk about AI kind of a technology, that will allow me to scale fast. That will allow me to reach to those common masses at rural sections or at the remote part of the country, wherever they are, right? And if you ask me if I can quote an example, today, if you apply for a passport services, whether you apply in Delhi, Mumbai or Chennai or a remote corner of any part of the country, you will not find any difference per se, right? And how have we done that? And why only in India? Any global diaspora across anywhere in the globe, whether you apply from a Guatemala, New York, Canada, you don't find any difference, right? And these were the possibilities, and that's why I call them a flawless digital interaction at the grassroots level. Can you do that, right? Naturally, we are doing, when you're looking for the inclusivity part, only one of the scheme, if you see, the DBT alone, I think we can save a leakage of more than 2 lakh crore. Just imagine, one scheme, I can save a leakage of more than 2 lakh crore, right? So what is the potential we have if we can bring in such technology, go to the, as I said, up to the last mile, enable them, stop those leakages, stop those noises, I think the potential is enough, right? Uh, Digital democratization, I mean, that is the ultimate thing for all of us to achieve when we talk about masses at large. And when I say digital democratization, as I said, having those barriers, keeping them away, giving equal access to all. And that's the power of digital. Can we do that? This is one of my favorite slides, which I generally speak whenever we are enabling these kind of a big transformation, whether it is Aadhaar, whether it is Passport Seva, whether it is GST, whether it is ZIM portal. I can quote plethora of such examples. But where is the crux? The crux is how do I enable those middle tiers, whatever I have mentioned, right? And if I have to enable those middle tiers, I think the concern is how do I enable those 5 Ws? Do I really understand those 5 Ws? Whether I talk about 5G, whether I talk about data security and privacy concerns, whether I talk about AI, Gen AI, do I really understand those 5 Ws? And what are those 5 Ws? These are your workload, workforce, workflow, workspace, and web. If you understand those 5 Ws well, trying to enable those middle tier, I think then you go to the left side, the data, it's all about data. Do I really understand those 5 V's of data, right? Which is actually hitting to those 5 W's, trying to enable those middle tiers. And if I am trying to do that, I think what is the ultimate aim or the goal I am trying to achieve? Those 4 A's. And what are those 4 A's? These are speed, scale, security, and sustainability. And believe me, whatever you talk about, when you talk about 5G, AI, any of these such emerging technology, government at large, industry at large, product, solutions, you can retrofit this slide everywhere. And this is true for everything. Whether I talk about enabling a government transformation, somebody is talking about a product and portfolio, someone is trying to build a solutions or services, it works well. This is one of the slides which I have captured when you look into the emerging technology side. I think when you look into the emerging technology, again, all of the middle tier make a lot of sense. But then do not forget, do not move away from those 5 W's and 5 V's. That has to be intact. and then you try to enable those middle tiers when you are leveraging emerging technology. This is another one of my favorite slides. I think slide is getting cut some of the part. But the crux is whether I am enabling AI, bot, IoT, edge computing, big data, cloud, anything, everything. I think the governance principle is must. And when it's a governance principle, that is the data governance. And the data governance works on 4 directions. First is the people, second is the execution model, third is something I call rules of engagement. We must not forget about our own rules of engagement. And what is that rules of engagement? These are nothing but your compliances, regulations, and law of the land, right? And if I can do that, I think that is where you can reach those kind of insight, analytics, next level of enablement, decision making, predictions. You can do everything. But then, as I said, all those directions has to be taken care of, right? And then definitely you will achieve those 4S. That will continue to achieve. One of the slide, I'm not going through it, but when you're adapting those AI and other kind of a technology, there are a lot of work to be done, not only within the border, but across cross-border also we have to do a lot of work. Government is already working on that, but some of these things are very important. The connected ecosystem, especially when we are talking about AI, IoT, and edge computing, I think this is the one which is making a lot of sense, saying that how do we create a system which is enterprise, which is assurance, which is innovative, which is sustenance. And all those 4 directions, I think some of the bullets which I have captured, again, any technology, any product, any solutions, customer at large, B2B, B2C, G2C, again, you can retrofit everywhere. Some of the use cases which I have captured, when it comes to AI, IoT, or edge computing, you can have the role of the ecosystem. How do you look as an ecosystem at large when you are looking into AI, IoT, or edge computing, and what are the different use cases you can think through. Some of the use case I'm already doing. I'm already doing some of these use cases. Right? Our just previous panel there is talking about cyber security and data privacy, because now I think time is up. But this slide I wanted to show because the more we are advancing towards the digital footprint, another very, very happening thing is which I call mobility of workforce and workplace. This is a global phenomena, right? There is no boundary. Today we are living in a kind of a boundaryless world when it comes to digital, right? Now, if you are having such global footprint of the digital ecosystem, do you really understand your data sets well? Do you really have this kind of a monitoring mechanism of your cyber security, data privacy concerns? And especially when the law side of it, the regulation side of it, also continuously we are improving and strengthening. For an example, DPDP. The most powerful part of the DPDP is today is, and vis-a-vis the IT Act. IT Act, you as a consumer or you as a citizen, you had to prove that there is something you have done wrong, but I need to produce all the proofs, documents to the court of law. But in the DPDP Act, we have just changed kind of a 180 degree, where you as a consumer or you as a citizen, you just need to complain. It is the fiduciary of the data or fiduciary, the government body, or it is a private sector. It is their take now proving in the court of law, saying that I have not done, right? So there are a lot of power has been given to the data principle, the applicability of the data, the governance of the data, and on the process, as I said, why only in India, whether it is DPDP or previous to DPDP IT Act, but across the globe also. If you look into the GDPR or this kind of a law, the more power is given to the data principles. Data privacy concerns, some of the data privacy concerns, again, I have captured. I am not going through it, but again, there are 5 components to quickly go through. Start with data principle, applicability, data fiduciary, data protection officers, and the data protection board. If you can map your data privacy principle or data privacy framework across those 5 principles, I think you are more or less at least trying to approach or build the data privacy within the data security framework. These are the 5 principles I have captured. One of the slide, I think this is my own slide from the Passport Seva program, saying that when you are enabling such big transformations, as I said, today I am delivering more than 1 lakh citizens daily passport-related services. How do you achieve a potential of such service benchmark, wherein not only it is the service assurance and quality, but other side, as I said, data security, data privacy concerns, and then at the end, whatever tools and technologies you are deploying, whether you are developing a business model with a service partner or an industry partner, how do you enable such kind of a service-oriented framework, which is win-win, which is giving a assurance and kind of a service levels to my citizens, my service seekers, and at the same time, it has to be sustainable over a time. So if you can see right from last 5-6 years, I'm achieving a service benchmark of more than 99%. So thank you all of you listening so patiently. And I once again thank Cyber Media and all of the sponsors having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Just be on stage for a while. May I invite Mr. Himanshu Gupta, Country Manager, Telecom, Media and Entertainment, HP India, to kindly present a token of our appreciation to Shri Golok Kumar Simli.